going right away through the future of accountants, the future of CPAs. And I would want this to be kind of a workshop. Workshop basically means that I'm training a little bit and of course giving you most of the time to give us your experiences and thoughts on this subject matter. So then I would want to pause a little bit and ask you guys this question. When you look at this automation and what is happening in our industry, what do you think in this case here really does our future look like? What do you think does our future look like? What do you think does our future look like? So if you can go to the chat section there and tell us exactly what your thoughts are, I'll be so happy to listen in. Do we have a bright future? Or from where you stand, you think we've lost it all, and that some of you could even be thinking of changing careers, They're not talking to me this afternoon. They're not talking to me at all this afternoon. I'm so sure most of you would really be thinking negatively about this profession, because even some of you, as we speak, even without this automation really having hit so hard on us, there are some of you who will say that, Mwalimu, we are really struggling in this industry to get jobs. Oh, okay. You can see like what Mary Kisu is saying is a threat in the near future. Okay, great, great. Now, thank you so much. Then when we talk of artificial intelligence, what do we mean? We can start our demonstration by looking at the simple chat GPT. So when I come here, ladies and gentlemen, and look for the chat GPT, see here, I can use this chat GPT to do so many things, right? To do so many things. So for example, I may be in a position of wanting to write a letter to my mother, a great letter to my mother. So in this case here, for example, I want to write a letter to my mother, thanking her for the great upbringing of myself and my siblings. So upbringing, let me just write it like that. And then I'll tell, in this case here, upbringing. I'll tell chat, you don't even have to mind about the spellings and whatever. That is why this thing is a robot. So write the letter for me. Write the letter for me. So then I click there, enter. Great. So let's read how it has written this thing. So dear mom, I hope this letter finds you well. I want to take just a moment to express my gratitude for the amazing upbringing you provided for me. As I reflect on my childhood, I'm constantly reminded of the countless sacrifices you made for me. You always put my needs above your own, and for that, I'm truly grateful. From the time I was born, you provided a safe and loving environment for me to grow and learn in. You instilled in me important values like kindness, respect, and hard work. As I navigated through my teenage years, you were always there to listen and offer guidance. Your unwavering support and encouragement helped me through some of the toughest moments of my life. I always knew I could count on you to be my rock. Now, as an adult, I'm able to appreciate all the sacrifices you made for me even more. Your dedication to my well-being has played a huge role in shaping who I am today. You have taught me to be strong, resilient, and compassionate, and I'm forever grateful for that. So thank you, Mom, for everything you've done for me. Your love and support mean the world to me. And I hope you know how much I appreciate it, with love and gratitude. And then you put your name there. Now, assuming, or rather, for those of you who could be mothers in this house, those of you who are mothers in this house, if your son was to write to you such a letter, I mean, don't you think it's a great letter? If your son was to take time and conveys this kind of message to you, you get this letter like today over the weekend, nicely sealed up. Now I'm addressing mothers in the house. I'm addressing mothers in the house. I'm addressing mothers in the house. There seems to be very few. You can see Maria is saying it's wonderful. It's wonderful, yes. It's wonderful. Great, great. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please listen. This artificial intelligence writing software has been able to give me a great letter within a minute. Within a minute. So for example, I could be the CFO and I would want to pass a message to somebody, for example, who works in my department called Maria. So for example, I want in this case here, just a letter. So I'm doing a letter here, a letter, sorry, to Mary, reminding her about a deadline. A deadline she is supposed to meet for a report that is due. That is due on the 14th, of 5/2023. All right, then you say straight away, enter. Dear Mary, I hope Dear Barry, I hope this letter finds you well. I'm writing to remind you of the upcoming deadline for the report. So now, of course, you'll copy this and take it to Word and then make a few adjustments for the deadline for the report that is due on the 14th of May 2023. As you know, this report is important and the deadline is fast approaching. I want to make sure that you have all the necessary resources and support you need to complete this report successfully and on time. Please remember that if you encounter any challenges or difficulties along the way, do not hesitate to ask for help. I'm here to support you in any way I can as a boss. That is very good. I'm confident that with your skills and expertise, you'll be able to deliver an excellent report that meets all the requirements. Your hard work and dedication are greatly appreciated. If there is anything else I can do to support, please do not hesitate to let me know. I wish you all the best as you work towards meeting this deadline. So ladies and gentlemen, nowadays, fortunately for me, I work for a software company, so I happen to know most of these things very fast. I normally get so many people who are still struggling to write letters and they're struggling with language. Don't struggle. Artificial intelligence is with us here. Anything you want to write, for example, if you want to surprise even your wife this afternoon, you will simply go to ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT here, just a simple thing like do. But of course, don't let her know that you're using ChatGPT. It will not look natural. Do a poem for my wife here. And then you can just give it a few instructions here and there if you wish, or just a general one. Just a general one. And this thing is creating this thing very fast. And it's quite intelligent. I'm telling you, this one, as a lady, if you have a husband who can write something like this for you, it will sweep you off your feet. You'll be having my love for you is like the sun, everlasting and bright, shining down on all we have done and guiding us through the night. Your smile, etc., etc. So then I would want to stop there. And of course, in terms of ChatGPT, I hope this will be very helpful to you in terms of especially giving instructions to your juniors, giving reports. Like, for example, you want to ask for permission. you want to ask for my permission, asking, or rather, maybe my boss is called Mr. Jonas. Mr. Jonas, I will be away. You write even the poorest of English. I will be away for the whole of next week. For the whole of next week. My stand-in, very important. My stand-in is Jacob Juma. And I have briefed him. Accordingly over all outstanding tasks here. So that is it. Just tell this Excel, expand, well, not Excel, but ChatGPT, expand this letter. You never wrote it in very good English, Jacob Juma, sorry. Jacob Juma. You never wrote it in very good English, but ChatGPT will be able to pick the message and will be able to expand very nicely. Very nicely. Dear Mr. Jonas, I hope this letter finds you well. I'm writing to inform you. I'm writing to inform you that I'll be away for the entirety of next week due to personal reasons. However, I've arranged for Jacob Juma to stand in for me while I'm away. Jacob is fully briefed on all outstanding tasks and will be able to provide you with updates and progress reports as needed. I've also provided him with the access to all necessary documents and resources to ensure a seamless transition. Please do not hesitate to reach out to Jacob if you need any assistance during my absence. He has been fully briefed on all projects and tasks and will be able to provide any necessary support. I'll be available via email and phone in case of any urgent matters that may arise. Please feel free to reach out to me if there is anything that requires my immediate attention. Thank you for understanding, and I look forward to catching up with you upon my return. So assuming you're my boss and I've done this kind of a letter, I mean, what do you think of that letter if you're my boss upon receiving this letter from me? I mean, this letter will make you as my boss very happy. It basically shows that this person is able to, I mean, this person knows their responsibility very well. He's been able in this case to delegate so that whenever he's away, when he will be away, there will be no vacuum, etc. So then why can't you clap for me for giving you a very good secret? Because most of you have heard of ChatGPT, but you've never known how to use it. I'm so sure I must have taught somebody something very new here. Clap for me this afternoon. I also want to feel nice. Anyway, I want to know whether we are together. Great. Great. So are we together? Great. So it doesn't matter. Maybe you would want to write a letter to KRA. You'd want to write a letter to KRA, right? You simply go and mention there that I'm writing to you as regards to this client PIN number who has an issue about a VAT that was not blah, 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 blah. You just write it as an incomplete thing, and then ChatGPT is able to pick from that and expands like that. Great. I'm being given a signal that my internet is unstable, but I want to imagine that you are able to hear Mwalimu. Great. So then I would want to take 1 minute to at least see whether you guys will be able to get to ChatGPT. Is there somebody who can share their screen? We try searching, just Google. We Google ChatGPT, we do the registration here, because I would want my students here to shine wherever they are. So please just share your screen here, go to Google, search for ChatGPT, we sign up, want to sign up now. I don't want this thing to end here that Mwalimu has really shown, and then you don't really make use of this. I would want you to make use of this like immediately. Please share your screen, go to Google, search for ChatGPT. Search for ChatGPT. You should never take any time to prepare like PowerPoint slides. Don't take any time. If, for example, ladies and gentlemen here, because you're not sharing your screen, I'll come here and tell, for example, of course, it cannot give you like exact PowerPoint slides, but it'll give you. So like I'll come and tell, and I normally use this quite a lot, that I would like to give a presentation on IFRS 15 this afternoon. Make for me 10 slides to help me do this. It'll tell you automatically it can't make, but it'll give you information for the slides. So you come and say there, enter IFRS 15 revenue with contracts. You can see it as given now, slide 1, brief overview of the presentation, definition of IFRS 15, slide 2, scope of IFRS 15, explanation of the types of contracts covered by IFRS 15, slide 3, recognition. So you simply copy that and put this in PowerPoint, what yes, la? And then now people will think that you are a genius. And they'll be exactly 10. 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 It's even giving you conclusion. The 10th one is a conclusive one, concluding. So it's even telling you that you can modify it according to your specific needs and preferences. Each slide can be expanded with additional content or sub-topics. And you can come and tell them that, increase the content in each slide and tell it like that. Sure, here's an expanded version of the 10-slide presentation on IFRS 15. And it gives you all those things like that. This is so interesting. And you guys are so lucky to be learning with us at RCM Online College, because now we are able to give you what really is trending in the industry. Great. So then what we shall do, yes, people will think you're a genius, yes. So what we shall do, I shall give you some time, you guys, to download that ChatGPT, and then you ensure that you do what here, you sign up, so that if possible, we should be able to do another session in the evening where I will be able to gather and see whether you guys have known how to use this ChatGPT. It can run on phone, yes. It can run on phone, yes. Nicely. No, even on phone. Now then, if we are in agreement, ladies and gentlemen, I would want to go to now the accountancy bit and just take 10 minutes of your time. 10 minutes of your time. How does this accounting thing look like in the near future? People think, ladies and gentlemen, that accountancy finance is going to die because of these robots. Trust you me? No. We can't, of course, fight with the robots. But at the end of the day, as they tell us, if you can't defeat them, what do? You join them. If you can't defeat them, you join them. Beacon Solomon, so sorry. Somebody is telling me that in Southern Sudan it's not available. We shall overcome, don't worry. It should be available over there soon, sooner than later. So for accountants, there are so many artificial intelligence applications which are coming up, which are really going to take away the traditional bookkeeping. Like this thing of debit, credit, that will be going. Actually, already it has gone. Because right now, if you give me even the simple QuickBooks, if you give me even the simple QuickBooks, and then you give me somebody who has done ATD1 or KATC, the old KATC, or even somebody who did business studies in high school, this person can easily do some great accounting work. Why? This person will be able to just do what we call data entry. And then at the end of the day, QuickBooks will be able to give me reports. All right, you are right, ladies and gentlemen. These simple tasks like bookkeeping, yes, are coming to an end. But there is something that can never go away, especially if you decide to walk line by line with these robots. If you start thinking of how are the trends looking like, what should I do with this course that I'm doing here called CPA to ensure that to ensure that at the end of the day, I will be in line with the dictates of what here, dictates of the market, right? Now, remember, ladies and gentlemen, we have very serious robots that are coming. If you look at, for example, what KRA is planning, KRA, they have engaged a Swedish organization. This Swedish organization, what is it doing? It is the one behind the e-teams, right? And even that is not the end of it. These guys are coming up with what we call XBRL, Extensible Business Reporting Language. Under XBRL, of course, XBRL in Africa, it has been taken up by South Africa, and then we have Mauritius. And of course, you know that Kenya is also a part of the first world in terms of African setup. So you know that Kenya should be the next country to get into this XBRL language. What does it mean? It means extensible business reporting language. What does it do? Each business will be given a platform. Once you register a company at the Register of Companies, amongst the things will be required here to take home with you on top of the incorporation certificate will be the XBRL code. So from the word go, XBRL will be connected with your bank accounts. You'll not be like paying through a check and then you start doing the narrations later. No. If, for example, you are going to withdraw like say 500,000, when you are there, you must in this case here tell XBRL in the extensible business reporting language, you must go there and report that, hey, you know what, this 500,000 is for example, for rent, for wages. So it doesn't matter whether you're withdrawing or you're making payments like that. So that as you do your business transactions, even revenue, when revenue comes in, before it hits your account like this, it passes through your ledger, XBRL ledger. So at the end of the month, the taxman knows the tax you should be paying even before you take any return. This thing of returns will be coming to an end very soon. 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 It's called the XBRL. And the most interesting thing is that after you have done now your computations, of course, there are things that you'll have to be still filling manually, but after you've done everything, then XBRL will be able to collect, put together, accumulate all the monthly statements to an annual return. So that at the end of the day, you'll not be doing any return. It will be able to compute these taxes for you. And then now this is the most interesting thing. It is fitted with the famous Power BI, Powerful Business Intelligence Software, which is quite a tough analytical robot. So that this robot, it will be able to go through the XBRL, because all of them are now structured in the same way. It will be able to go through all your records very fast, discerning any irregularities. So if, for example, this year you did revenue of 10 million, and then next year you're telling us revenue was 5 million, then XBRL will straight away come up, bring those things in red very fast. Right? And then, of course, in this case here, then the taxman will be able to order for an in-depth examination. In-depth examination. In-depth examination. All right? So as an accountant, there are things I'm supposed to be knowing, and I'll be able to speak more about XBRL and automation in the accounting industry in another forum, because this forum was supposed to be quite a short one. And I'm so happy because I can see very many new messages. Great. Great. So Dickens is telling us something very nice there, that Turnitin will be able to pick this ChatGPT content, especially if you're using this thing for academic work. Don't go like I saw somebody going to ChatGPT and they was telling ChatGPT that I would want you to do for me a whole thesis. You see, it will give you the thesis, right? So long as you give it the topic, you give it the methodology, you tell it the sampling frame, it will be able to give you all those things very fast. But remember, ChatGPT is getting this information from other software. So then this thesis of yours will automatically be flagged down as a plagiarized content. And then the other thing you're supposed to know is that ChatGPT does not give you the references, like at the end of the paragraph, where basically we mentioned that this particular artwork, this particular, for example, point statement is coming from Dr. Joshua Aura 23, depending on when it came up with that statement. It doesn't give you that. So you can't use this. You can't use this for what here? You can't use this. You can't use this for purposes of academia. But remember, you can do, like, for example, he's telling us, you can just run that thing and then you'll be doing a lot of paraphrasing and you're filling it up with a lot of references, etc., etc. It can be your guide for academia. But personally, if you look at my workplace, I use ChatGPT for all internal communications. It works every day. It works every day. It gives me a lot of flexibility because now I have all the time. That's why I have a full-time job. I have a full-time job, a very involving job, but you always see me online. It's because of what you ChatGPT. Because now I'm told, for example, do this and this and this. Write a memo to the staff. I'll be able to write this memo very fast, and then I'll be able to create like a whole hour out of there, and then I'll be doing my own things like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is something that is very, very important. Something that is very, very important, which all of us should be able to do what here to learn. So somebody has given me information from ChatGPT Glide. It means you're a good student. XBRL stands for Extensible Business Reporting Language. It's an open global standard for digital reporting and exchanging business information between various systems and applications. XBRL provides standardized way to organize financial and accounting data, making it easier to compare, analyze information across different companies and industries. In simpler terms, XBRL is a language that allows companies to tag. There's a lot of tagging information. Like if it's revenue, it has its own tag. To tag financial data so that it can be easily processed and analyzed by computers and software applications. It is used to create and exchange. Financial statements such as balance sheets. This is something, if Dr. William Ruto wanted to nab so many tax sheets, it is something they actually need to invest on very fast and ensure that they put XBRL language as the major language of businesses communicating with the KRA. This one will be able to bring everybody to, remember, even in South Africa, when this thing was brought in South Africa, people even demonstrated. Because now people were wondering, how come this person has been able to know that I got from my money wallet, I got 10 million shillings last year? It's because of XBRL. Any money coming to it's linked. It's linked. XBRL is a very strong tool. XBRL is a very strong tool. Great. You guys are coming up with great things. It's open source, yes. It's open source. You can start learning about it. It's open source. And these are things like, if you guys could create time, we can even form like a group. You guys can come to our physical college. Those are guys who are quite close by here. RCM, now we are back at Stanbank House, first floor. We can even form a discussion group because we should be among the first people to understand what XBRL is about. You guys are lucky because I work for a software company. You'll be able to get a lot of guidance quite fast from me. And of course, because it's something which is still at informative stages, I'll not charge you. Because you guys have given us a lot of what year support in the CPS studies, I'll not charge you. Great. So I think that is it. Thanks for participating. So at least you guys have heard about XBRL. And when XBRL is brought, it's not coming to tell companies that, hey, you guys stop using SAP, stop using, for example, no. You'll be able to use your own software. After you use your own software, KRA will be giving you what we call an integrator. So this integrator will be linking your systems, right? It will be linking your bank details, etc, etc. And then, of course, you'll be able to drive that traffic to what we call XBRL, which is the conduit towards what here? KRA's website now. And then now you'll be wondering, even KRA, you see, like now currently, KRA is hiring so many people. With XBRL, they don't have to hire that number of employees. No. The entire KRA can even be now manned by, say, 1,000 people, the whole country. Because it will be robots now reading financial statements and trying to discern differences. You know, like if KRA comes to your organization and you are a big, like fast-moving consumer goods company, then automatically there will be a lot of work which will be done when they come for any tax in-depth examination. They can even come and stay there for 3 months. But if it was information transferred through XBRL, then it's a minute thing. We'll be able to track and tell you, hey, this cost of sales, it's really growing, and we're not seeing revenue growing. It means you're hiding a few things here. Let's look at your cost of sales. Give us this ledger, and then you nab this tax cheat. Great. So, ladies and gentlemen, trust you me, in the near future, accountants will really be paid handsomely. Accounting will be a good profession. People are prospecting that it may die. What I know will die is the bookkeeping. But something to do with finance, for example, business advisory, you can never go wrong. So as I wind up on this topic of finance in the future, finance and accountancy careers in the future, I would want you to look at what you need to do for you to be able to succeed here. There are 3 major things. There is what we call career adaptation. As you study currently, ensure that you are adapting to the trends. And that is why you saw that I'm having so many Excel classes, advanced Excel classes, because you'll still get an accountant who does not know what a pivot table is. An accountant who does not know how to search for information using, for example, the various search engines, like, for example, the VLOOKUP. And then you'll be out there complaining how there are no jobs, and yet you are the one who does not have really the requisite skills. So career adaptation, you must be technically ready or capable to make use of what here? ICT. And the benchmark software is Excel. Never be cheated by anybody. You must be good in that line of advanced Excel. So we have advanced Excel. We have the Power Query. Like today at 4 p.m., I have a class of Power Query, where I'll be teaching students how to make use of Power Query. And then, of course, you do what here? You develop also the power, or not power, but the pivot tables out of them. All right. So those are things, if you happen to know them, ladies and gentlemen, some of us, we keep on changing jobs the way we want, simply because we were mentored in those old days and we were told, hey, it's like somebody knew that COVID was to come. You must be agile with technology, right? So career adaptation, very, very important. Of course, this career adaptation means what here? Skills transformation. You can't tell me that you are a debit credit person and then you expect really, no. Learning evolution. So even if you're going for physical classes somewhere, you must ensure that a bigger percentage of your studies is done online. Because now where we are headed towards is a situation where people will be working from home. Like, for example, I work for a Swedish organization, and most of the times I operate from these studios. Most of the times I operate from home. So then if I'm not good in terms of this digital software, then how will I be able to use the Teams? How will I be able to use the Zoom? How will I be able to share my screen? Could look small, but these are very, very important things. That is, if you would want to ride with the tides in the future. Don't run against the tides. Don't run against the tides. So learning evolution, career adaptation, skills transformation. And then we have very great things here, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, we must be intelligent. Intelligence in terms of working with the various software. right? We have what we call emotional intelligence. Remember, especially if you're a manager outside there, when you are managing people, don't think that you're managing stones. You're managing people who've got feelings, and the people who are going through a lot. So empathy, as per Elton Mayo, if you remember the story of empathy, the school of human relations, you must be good at it. Otherwise, you'll be an accountant will not be employed anywhere, right? Technical and ethical. In terms of career adaptation, technically, you have to be good and you must be ethical. Trust you me. Most of you guys keep on complaining that there are no jobs, accounting jobs. But technically, you're not good. Most of you. A bigger percentage of you, like 80%. Ask anybody, for example, differences between IPSAS 9 and IPSAS 23. They don't know. Ask them, for example, the standards that deal with the financial consolidation, group consolidation. They don't even know the basic IFRS 10. They don't even know the basic IFRS 3, business combinations. Right? So it means that most of us really do not take time to do what here, to invest in terms of what you're getting, the technical aspects of finance and accounting. Great. So technically, you must be good. If you can decide even to do like this diploma in IFRS of ACCA. Diploma in IFRS of ACCA, right? Unfortunately, we happen to be having this paper at RCM Online College. We have this paper called Strategic Business Reporting of ACCA. You simply join that class, and then you do this diploma in IFRS of ACCA like myself, and you'll be good to go with all those standards. Trust you me. People don't know. I've been involved in interviewing CFOs, right? And I can tell you, people will come and ask about, or ask them something simple, like, for example, how do we handle borrowing costs? Just something simple. But you have a company, this company has borrowed and it's doing this construction, right? So some of this loan, in this case here, came, right? Blah, 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 at this stage of completion. And people cannot tell you. Like, how do we handle this borrowing cost? This particular part of interest, should it be capitalized in the project? People cannot tell you. So we are not investing enough. As we keep on complaining, we are not investing enough. We're not investing enough. My internet has issues, but we shall overcome. No. It's Robert Rono who put on his camera. Great. So please, technically, you have to do something. Now, ladies and gentlemen, then I'll be able to come to something very important here. Creativity. We must be very creative as accountants. You can't keep on telling us, ladies and gentlemen, that Corona has driven you out of business. How? And you are the CFO. CFO, you are in top management. You need to come up with innovations. You need to innovate, come up with new products, of course, in consultation with the top management, right? For example, during COVID, RCM Online College was able to triple its revenues. And this is the time we were fearing that we will not be able even to pay rent, we will not be able to service our loans, etc. But because of creativity, remember, I just moved back very fast and I was able to get a big crowd in terms of what the CPA market. So it's all about how do you innovate. Very, very important. Remember the balanced scorecard. So you must be very creative because, ladies and gentlemen, remember now software is really getting these repetitive tasks away from us. Then we have to be great thinkers if we are to make it big time. We must be great thinkers. Great. So remember the famous balance scorecard, if you can remember. One of the facets, one of the perspectives of the balance scorecard is what we call learning and innovation. Innovation is key. And I always keep on telling you, remember a company like breweries. Breweries, for example, during COVID times, most of the clubs, hotels, restaurants were closed. But still, you realize that the effect on their revenues was very minimal. These guys were able to right? They were able to partner with some of these courier companies to deliver alcohol at homes, right? They really innovated. And if you look at that kind of innovation, the CFO was right at the middle of that cog, right? So creativity is key. As we move forward, creativity is key. And for creativity to be key, ladies and gentlemen, we must make learning a continuous process. We must make learning a continuous process. And nowadays, you don't even have to really spend a lot. You don't have to spend quite a lot, even in terms of going to classes, etc. We have YouTube. It's a whole university. YouTube is a whole university. YouTube is a whole university by itself. So emotional intelligence, I've spoken about this experience. There is no way for now people really should be saying that I don't have experience. I mean, what you need to do is to get to a college like RCM online, college online, from wherever you are. You study, for example, something like QuickBooks. Once you study QuickBooks, come and ask some of us, like, now, can I get access to your real data? And then I try to simulate. I have my own QuickBooks. Mwalimu, what I want, of course, Mwalimu, you are ethical in terms of paying taxes, yes. So can you give me your real data? I try to experiment. And then, of course, the moment you experiment, you try, for example, how do you create, for example, suppliers? How do you book in etc. expenses, etc. What kind of reports? And then you straight away, through whatever you'll be able to showcase in the interviews, you are experienced already. You must be visionary. Ladies and gentlemen, like myself, I'm seeing 20 when, I'm seeing 20, 20, 20, 30, 20, 40. You must be very visionary. You must be very visionary. Now, when we come inside here, we must be assurance advocates. Remember, assurance advocates, we have got very few accountants of the caliber of Martin Oduor. Many companies know that the moment Martin Oduor is taken to their board, there will be nothing like theft, right? He's basically an assurance advocate. And we should be able to have most of you here really being people of integrity, people that we know that once we have Mary Kisui in this organization, then everything will be what? It will be okay. Once we have Robert Rono in this organization, everything will be okay. But most of us, ladies and gentlemen, we are simply bloodhounds. If you remember the concept of bloodhounds, we can't make very good shepherds, right? Where we are going towards into the future, as these other bookkeeping and other repetitive things are being taken away from us, you will only thrive if you are a person who is known that this person, when this person joins this company, then this company can only grow because this person is a brand. And then number two, this person is a brand. And then number two, we have the concept of what here? Assurance advocate, not a person who is coming to this company to enrich themselves. For example, I'm so sure there are some directors of some companies, or even you get like a company is making losses. People are not even being paid salaries, but as directors per meeting, you are paying yourself 50,000. So in that board, you are not an assurance advocate. You are just a bloodhound. You are a hyena. Because you should have looked at the bigger picture, say, hey, you know, as your directors, we have jobs elsewhere. These are our secondary engagement, right? You try convincing your colleagues there. Even at the cabinet level, try convincing your colleagues there. You must be an assurance advocate, somebody who knows that you don't need too much to really be comfortable in this life. You don't need, in this case here, to have like Tuju, a house of 12 bedrooms, big house. But this one I have to whisper. But now you get like the wife ran away and went with what here? A soldier without any rank. Life is funny. You don't need to have like a vehicle of 30 million. So long as I have my small Toyota, it will be able to take me from here to there. I'm not saying that we become lazy, but really this thing of theft all the time, that you get somebody like now over weekend, you are moving all over, trying to make deals left, right, and center. No. You can easily even meet with death. We must be assurance advocates in the companies that we do what here, we work in the companies that we work. That is how we'll be able to really create our own niche as accountants in the future. That's how you'll be able to, at a young age, to become a CFO very easily. So in the future, if you would want to survive, ladies and gentlemen, you must be a data navigator. You must be very good with Excel, right? And this Excel, whenever I give you guys an opportunity to train with me, like now last time, I'd given you a very good opportunity. For RCM Online college students, they were paying $1,500 to study with me directly, right? Now, RCM students, they were paying $3,500. So that opportunity again will be coming next month, beginning of next month. Don't miss joining those sessions. They are 1 week sessions. And of course, if you're interested, then you should be able to give us a call, 0719. That's our number, 0719 525,000, 0719 525,000. So data navigator, you must be able to know how to play around with data. You must be able to be a playmaker, a digital playmaker. You can't be working with these old invoices like you guys were right. No. Right. So on data, very, very important. I would want to see my students in this case here being good at MySQL. My students being very good with Python. I mean, extend this business data analytics. Kasneb has brought what we call business data analytics, which is quite a good informative course. I would want you to do it, especially for those of you that I've seen around here who are members of ISPAC. You need to join this business data analytics classes, even if it means you not be doing an exam, because if you don't do that, then you'll be overtaken by these young men and women who are now becoming so good. In this digital industry. Ladies and gentlemen, you must also be a sustainability trailblazer. If you want to succeed in the future, you must be a sustainability trailblazer. Remember sustainability? We are looking at 3 Ps. But when you're reporting, you must report profits. You must report planet. You must report people. This thing of just reporting profits only is not. Try to tell your directors, as an insurance advocate, people outside there would want to know what is our role to the society in terms of corporate social responsibility. I mean, you're working for companies that are really underpaying their workers. You have to be an advocate. Remember, insurance advocacy is not just about towards one stakeholder. You are an advocate of so many stakeholders, including those employees, right? So keep on, in this case here, just raising standards a bit slowly. Start telling these people that if we're earning $1 billion, there's no way we can give our workers 100 million. No, it's about 35% of the revenue should go to the workers. 35% of revenue should go to the workers. This thing of having directors pushing very heavy machines from home, current to town, and yet the employees are walking from the north by foot. They walk to industrial area to come and decide. That thing is long gone. Johnson Nyok, please ensure that you don't put on your cameras, because when you put on your camera, my internet becomes destabilized. Don't put on your camera, please. Don't put on your camera. Great. So we continue, ladies and gentlemen. So then we are here. The last one is about you being a business transformer, transformative leadership. So then, just to summarize everything, accountancy is going to be a big thing in the future. Only and only if we decide to sleep on technology, embrace technology, and technology in all our processes like transformation. We are looking at leaders whose emotional intelligence is at another level. Know those kind of leaders when, for example, you are struck a little bit. So somebody just comes and scratches you. That reminds me, I was reading some book, why men don't make very good, African men don't make very good managers outside here. So very good story. And then I went and again looked for why women don't also make to top level positions in this country for big blue chip companies. Very few women really in the board. So women is because simply they have a very thin skin. In terms of empathy, they score very well, but skin-wise, they have a very thin skin. And as a manager, you're supposed to have what we call a thick skin, thick skin, because, you know, here you are as a lady leader, and then you pass via somewhere, you realize that you've seen some two people there and they're speaking ill things against you, bad things against you, they're gossiping you, right? And then you take that thing as a, no. You need in life, you need to have a very thick skin. You take that thing so seriously, you stop talking to these people like a whole year. And yet, as a manager, you know that communication is a key thing, right? So emotionally, you must be very intelligent. Yes, you could be angry, but don't extend your anger towards some durations, towards some levels. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right. Now, when we talk over auditing, of course, we have got a serious, yes, softwares. Like now we have the case where ETC, we have those computer aided, right? Systems that you will have to put at the background. Nowadays, auditing has also really progressed. So you put this software, embed them in the accounting softwares of the firm, and then this software will be able to do what? To take the auditing information. It will even be able to help you guys pick the sample size, etc. So the world outside here is great for accountants. Only that most accountants are not willing to pay the price. Otherwise, thank you very much. No, I have to just make one announcement that now we have opened the college officially. Now we are running CPA classes. If you're interested in our online classes, they cost 4,200. They cost 4,200 per paper. If you want our physical classes, there are students who keep on insisting on physical classes, and I can't blame them. These guys are working for government. They're working in town here. So when they leave work at about 5 p.m., they would want to get ways of beating the traffic jam. If you want to beat the traffic jam, then you can join us at RCM online or RCM College, Stand Bank House, first floor. But of course your fees is a little bit higher. It's 9,000. It's 9,000 like that. Don't forget that you also have CFFE. CFFE, this fraud forensic examination course. It's a very important course for any accountant. Once in this case, you are able to know how fraud schemes operate, then you can easily deter them from happening. And that is how you become a great assurance advocate. Instead of you running to CIFA, if I were you, I would do CFFE, etc. No. Bakari, we have never had an offer of 1,500 for BDA. BDA, we charge 8,000. 8,000, it's a very involving paper. That one we do not discount at all. The one that I discount, thanks Kevin CPA, the one that I discount is Excel. If you're a student, you pay 1,500, or a non-RCM student, you pay 3,500. And remember, CASNEB has introduced the concept of QuickBooks. After you finish your BDA, you're supposed to show prowess in utilizing QuickBooks. Now it's mandatory. So the earlier you start doing QuickBooks with us, the better. So I happen to be having a meeting that I'm 4 minutes late. 4 minutes late. I think I'll be able to have this meeting again to answer some questions I'm seeing like Eddie having there, right? Later in the evening. That's available, yes. Otherwise, it has been a great opportunity meeting you guys online. I'm looking forward to even better engagements with you in the future. Great. So like in the evening, cost of QuickBooks, 3,500. I'll be able to give you all that information in the evening. I'll tell you what time we shall be meeting. Bye and thank you.